Hello, my gorgeous souls, and welcome to another episode of Effortlessly Abundant Life. I'm so excited for this episode. Before we're going to dive into the juicy topic of why I would not ever, never will go to a psychic again, I wanted to come in here. First of all, thank you guys so much for your messages, for your comments, for your DMs, for all of your incredible support and just reactions to my latest podcast that was a guided meditation for the 888 Lionsgate. That just completely, so many of you felt the quantum shift, the transformation, the guidance that it came through. It was just so incredible to witness that. And if you missed it, I always say that you always have a chance to channel that portal every single day. It doesn't matter. You don't have to wait for the next 10 years to get the 888 portal, right? Every single day, every single moment is a powerful time for you to quantum manifest whatever it is that you want. So it's not too late to go ahead and try it and experience the magic. That is truly one of my favorite things, to channel these guided meditations for you guys. And whenever I channel source. So it's always, anything that comes from source, it's a good thing. And if you guys like this meditation, oh boy, this is just the beginning. And I can't wait for you guys to experience my new app that is coming up very, very soon. Actually, I would like for you to put on your calendars August 28th, which is going to be a day where going to be some really fun announcements coming up for my app, Feel on Cloud Nine, where I combine breath work, subconscious rewiring, and also somatic to give you all the best tools to shift your subconscious, your energetics, your physical state, so you can manifest whatever it is that you want. If it's more clients, if it's more money, if it's a better relationship, if it's a relationship, if it's better health, better body, whatever it is that you want to bring into your reality, this is going to be me in your little pocket. So it's always going to be there for whatever thing you need. And it's truly one of a kind app that I never seen. And I know that will change your life with a fraction of the price if you would go to all these different tools and try to do this whole thing for yourself. So wait for that announcement. But what I wanted to go with that. So I just wanted to thank you guys for your support, for your love, and also have you guys anticipate something really, really cool on August 28th. So today we're going to talk about why I would never go to a psychic. And just to kind of preface and kind of put it out there, I'm not against all psychics. I'm not against any psychics. I just want to bring in my experience and my knowledge and have you guys rethink it and see what works for you. We never question things. We never look things sometimes. And it's a good thing to sometimes just to take a step back and listen to somebody else's opinion and see if that resonates with you. You have nothing to lose. But definitely I'm not against all psychics. It's just I want to talk about a certain kind that I want you guys to avoid because it is important. It is your life. And I kind of want to go back to what kind of made me make a hard stop on psychics in general. As a Pisces, I was very into spirituality in a very young age. I was remembering my grandma used to take me to psychics as well because I requested it. That was like my birthday gift. And we go on my birthday to this tarot reader and this astrologist and this numerologist and this and coffee reading and all these stuff. And I just found myself kind of relying on that, right? The peak of it was when as you know, I had my breakup from my ex and I was in a very low place. And you remember when I was working as a salesperson in the weekends in West Village in New York City, I had this hour-long break and I decided, because everywhere in West Village, there is a psychic. It's like McDonald's, Starbucks. It's just one of those things, right? So you see it everywhere. And I just decided, I don't know, I just felt very low. I just felt like I need guidance. I just felt like I need some kind of reassurance, some kind of like guiding light to tell me what is happening, where I'm heading. Am I going to be okay? Right? That's usually why we go to psychics, because we're lost. We are stuck. We need some kind of guidance. And I went to the psychic, and I remember, she took my palm, and was it like $20 or $10, $15, that range, where she read my palm and she said, "Oh, I see this, I see this." And she also kind of was reflecting my thoughts. And by her reflecting my thoughts, she kind of confirmed all my fears. And I felt very seen, I felt very heard. And I trusted her, right? Because she kind of like, oh, she gets me. She sees where I am. And she told me about, okay, I need you to do, you have, you have some kind of, you have something stuck in you in one of your chakras. And I need you to do a chakra realignment. So, of course, it never ends with the $15 palm reading, right? It's like a $2,000 clearing, some kind of thing. And I said, you know what? I was so desperate that I just said, okay, sure, let me do that. And I remember going to her like 7 times, because it's 7 chakras, right? So I went to her for 7 times into different places, because apparently it's a whole thing in New York City where they work with one another and they're switched between different offices. And it's like, let me not even go there, but let me tell you, it's a mafia, right? And I remember this so vividly. I went to her apartment on West 48th Street. And I think it was like a 1 bedroom apartment. It was tiny, tiny, tiny. And right in the entrance on the left side in the hallway, there was this little mini, I guess, office, you want to call it. Like literally there's room for 2 people. There's no room to even like lay down. It's so tiny. And everything was covered with smoke, and it was children screaming, and it was just like not good vibes at all. Okay. And the cleansing, okay, my dears, I want you to listen to this. The cleansing was her putting her iPhone, getting on Spotify. I will never forget getting on Spotify, Chopra's chakra cleansing. And she just pressed on it and she just let me listen to this, and she left. That was the cleansing. Okay. So obviously I got scammed. Obviously this is BS. Obviously this is not true. But again, I was in such a vulnerable, very low place that I took whatever I could. And I honestly like almost was scared of her. I was kind of like scared to say, listen, this is not going to work. I'm leaving, because I was afraid she's going to put a curse on me or something, right? So you're like trying to be nice and cordial, but yet like, what are you doing? Right? This is not right. So something in my intuition said to me like, this is not good for you. Just leave. And I remember like I just didn't answer. I didn't reschedule the next session. I was just kind of like, I don't want to do anything to do with you. And that was my point where I promised myself I would never, ever, ever go to a psychic again. And truthfully, that was the best decision, because it forced me to go deeper with myself. It forced me to find the answers within myself. And now that I know more, I've been training in intuition reading. I'm in training all my abilities, my spiritual abilities to help more people. I understand how this is such, obviously it's not like you go to a doctor, there is some kind of regulation, there is literally zero regulation. Everybody and their mother can do whatever they want, and yet it can cause so much damage, and people are not aware of it. And that's why I'm making this episode for you guys, so at least you know what is the consequences of you going to a psychic. And how do you know if you need to go to one? And how do you know who you should go to, because that is very, very, very important. So, first of all, I want you to ask yourself why you even want to go to a psychic. Like, what is the reason? If the reason is like I was in that particular moment when I was lost, I had no answers, I felt like the world is collapsing in terms of like everything going against me, I felt like nothing was going right. I felt betrayed, I felt alone, I felt lost, right? That is a very low place, and you seek answers. And of course, if you seek answers from outside of you, you always take your power away. You giving your power away to somebody else to tell you how and what you should do. So really ask yourself, why am I going to somebody to give me the answers that truthfully, the only person that has all the answers is you, right? The trick here is to go to somebody that knows how to do the proper reading so they can reflect to you not your fears and not your thoughts, but you're channeling your higher self to truly help you in a very specific way. And we're going to talk about it a little bit, of course, about it later. But the problem with a lot of psychics that when you go to a psychic, they're doing a reading on you, right? But they're reading your thought field. There is obviously physical field, there's energetic field, there's higher self field, there's creator field, there's thought field, there's emotional field. There's all kinds of fields that is part of our essence, this part of our who we are. And most psychics, they don't know what they're reading. They're reading your thought field. And your thought field, kind of like what happened with my psychic, she was reading my thought field and she reflected back to me what I was fearing, what I was thinking. That created the trust, right? That created that connection. But then also she reflecting, if I was asking her something about the future, she said, well, I see this and this and this, things that I was fearing of, right? Things that I didn't want. But that's what she was seeing. That's what she picked up from my thought field. And that is a very dangerous place, because if you look at somebody like a psychic or anybody else outside of you as an authority, and you have them reflect to you, and you kind of like trust them because they're saying the right thing, right? They're saying how you feel. They pick exactly on all those things. And then they say to you, well, in the future, I see this happening to you. Guess what? You start to believe them. And that is where how future created, but you believing it. It's not about them predicting. It's about them seeing where you are right now, picking up on your thoughts. And guess what? Your thoughts create actions, and your action create your reality. So there is obvious route. If you're thinking a certain way, that's where you're going to be. But let me tell you, that is not the ultimate truth. But because you're already expecting it to happen, you live by that almost prophecy. You put it in your subconscious. You already made almost a decision that it is what it is. That's what's going to be. And that is the life you're going to have. And that is the sad truth that I really want people to understand. Like, you are not just that moment, just that thought. You are not those fears. You're so much more than that. And nobody will ever know your future, because the future is untold. The future is always going to be determined by you. And that is where we're giving our power away to somebody else to tell us what's going to happen. What is my destiny? Well, the destiny is you, my dear. That's the whole point we're on this planet Earth. If you're just here to live by a certain book, like what's the point of living, right? You always have free will. And by having free will, you can determine how you will live your life. But so many, again, because they're relying on somebody outside of themselves to give them the reassurance, the confidence, or the knowledge of what's going to happen, that is where the dangers lies. And that is where literally lives are being determined. Lives are being diminished because of that. And that is where I have the problem with that. Another thing is the fact that most psychics are carrying dark force in them. That is 100%. So many people don't even know they have dark force on them, but psychics definitely have dark force on them. I'm not even talking about people. And again, just because you're not going to do it and just because you're not the kind of person doesn't mean those people don't exist in the world. Okay. So it's very naive to think that everybody has the best intentions. No, they don't. Some people don't have the best intentions and they carry dark force in them and they want to either take your light, either manipulate you in some shape or form, or because they're jealous or because they're seeing something is possible for you and they want part of it or they want to sabotage it. You never know the intention of the person that does the reading for you. And another important thing is to understand that whenever they penetrate your aura, whenever they penetrate and look at your palm, look at your energy, they penetrate your energetic field. And that is dangerous because, again, if they carry dark force and they're carrying some kind of not the best intentions, guess what? It's leaking and it's penetrating your aura, it's penetrating your energy, and it's affecting you. So important, so important to make sure that the person that's reading on you is a person that is governed by light. And it's a whole other episode where we can talk about it if you're interested. But as you know, not all beings are from light. Some of them serve the dark, and it's just what it is. And you have to understand and determine who is serving the light and who is not serving the light. What I can tell you, one thing that you can always rely is on in your intuition. When you're connected to intuition, something doesn't feel right, feels like yucky, feels like weird, feels like something is not like 100% aligned. You can't even explain why. I want you to trust it and not doubt it and not push yourself just because you feel uncomfortable or hurting their feelings to just walk away. It's truly crucial. So understanding that, another thing that kind of struck me, and I wanted to bring it out to you, how many mediums, psychics you see that they look completely overweight, completely neglected, completely sick. Like, I don't know about you, but that is something that I notice. And I'm thinking to myself, if you're so aware and you have this kind of power, how come you look and you portray a very low frequency? And that is very important again, because most of those people never been taught how to energetically hygiene themselves so they're not carrying everybody's problem, everybody's diseases. And by them carrying that and penetrating to your aura, again, they moving and passing all these stuff that are not supposed to be there from the first place. So the combination of all these reasons that I gave you, it really understood like, okay, not only I'm not getting an answer, I'm actually dependent on them. And that's what they want. They want you to depend on them to come for every important meeting you have or important decision. They want you to come to them and be the kind of help me, right? What is the best decision? And again, it's coming from the place of not trusting yourself, is not developing your own intuition and your own inner guidance to govern your life. It's your life in the end of the day. And combining with all these reasons that I gave you, I highly suggest to think twice before you're going to somebody to do a reading. Now, is everybody like that? Absolutely not. There is absolutely amazing, talented, high spiritual guides that are going to truly help you. And they know how to do it in a way that is actually helping you. They're not just telling you what to do. They're actually seeing what's possible for you and asking the right questions. So it's coming from you and truly helping you to set yourself up for the best possible scenario. How many times I can't even tell you, I hear people telling, well, I went to a psychic, I will never get married. Like, this is just not in my cards. Or I went to a psychic, I will never have kids. Who said what? Are they God? Absolutely not. Everything is possible at any given moment. So that is why I really want you guys to understand how much power, again, we give other people just because we feel we don't have this ability because we're not intuitive, quote unquote, or we're not developed yet, or we don't know what's best for us. That is not the truth. And it's time to stop. It's time to claim your power back and understand that we've all been born with intuition. We've all been born with this innate ability to govern and move and guide our life through our own guidance. That is just part of it. We've been learned to shut it down. We've been learned to listen to the authority other than ourselves. We've been learned to comply, right? We learned to raise our hand. We're learned not to question. We learned to just do things and follow the rules. That's what we've been told because it's always outside of us. But we never been taught to actually move and listen to our intuition, listen to our guidance, and move life through that. And that's we see, I see it so many times. So many people are just feeling depressed. They feeling they're not themselves. They don't even know who they are anymore because they live a life that is outside of them. There's nothing authentic there. There's nothing that is real, and there's nothing that feels alive for them anymore. It's because of that. That is why I'm so passionate about what I'm doing, because not only right now we're moving away from the 3D, as I said, the matrix of us complying into authority, to us being our own leaders, to us awakening to their own power, understanding like, no, I don't have to do this. I have a choice. No, I don't need you to tell me what I need to do in my life. I will make the decision that works for best for me. No, I don't need people to tell me what's going to happen in the future because it's not about that. I don't need to constantly know what's going to happen because I trust myself and I trust source and I trust my ability to create whatever I want at any given time. That is true power. And if you feel called to and you're like, oh my God, I need to stop. I need to stop going to all these people to give me all the answers and start cultivating this within myself. The best way to start is my bundle. It's called the Matrix, the Escape the Matrix bundle for only $11. It contains 5 of my favorite courses that contains breakthrough breathwork session that is so powerful to get downloads and just clean energy and all the things that are feeling heavy on you on the physical, energetic level and emotional. You're going to have how to create abundance for yourself in a very easy way, 1, 2, 3, 4 step. And my favorite course called Clear to Create, which is going to help you to move any low frequency energy into better one in any given time. And it's a 3-step process that is super easy and truly changed my freaking life. And of course, one of my favorite courses that it's called Being You is Your Best Manifestation Hack, that is going to teach you what is your human design and how you can start listening to your inner guidance. So if you're interested, as I said, it's for a limited time for only $11, and it's stupid. It's like insanely low because I don't want money or having it a certain number to be an issue. And I want it to be accessible for as many people as possible. So as many people wake up and they can use these tools that help me and my clients to start cultivating this life. And if you've already done that and you want to move to the next level and you're like, I'm ready, you can go ahead and also apply to work with me one-on-one, book one-time session with me, and we can use this time for whatever you want to go deeper. If it's intuitive guidance, if it's human design reading, if it's really getting some kind of understanding and starting the process of really not escaping the matrix, but completely dissolve the matrix so you create the reality that you truly want for yourself. And it's really exciting. So all the things, everything is in the show notes. But I really want you to understand that if you would go to a psychic, I really want you to first, instead of kind of going from a desperate energy, I really want you to take a moment and start asking yourself the questions and start listening to what comes through. starting to really processing things within and not always go outside of you to get the answers. If you feel you do need somebody that's going to help you to kind of, because you're completely blind and you tried everything and nothing works, that's okay. We're not also supposed to do everything by ourselves as well. That's why we have each other to help us reflect and guide. That's what we're here for. Do it with a person that you trust. Do it with a person that is truly has, as I said, the best intentions and connected to source and not to the dark. Okay. And learn how to do it properly so you're not getting your thoughts reflected back to you. And you can actually, so the way I do it, by the way, so you know how, when I do intuition reading, I read your creator field. I create your limited belief system and your belief system in general, like the good and the not so good, the limited ones, right? But I read that, I see where you are right now, and then I channel into your higher self, and I see where you actually, what's your highest potential in this lifetime, and also giving you the tools how to, of course, collapse the bridge, how you can actually move from where you are to where you want to be. Not just like me telling you what is going to happen, because it's not about that. It's about where you meant to be in this lifetime and giving you practical tools that work truly for you, customize it for you, because not all tools work for everybody. Everybody's very unique and not everything works for everybody. So what is the best tool that is going to work specifically for you to really break this pattern and move into your highest potential? So that's what I do. Okay. And when I learned that and how to do it properly, and I see what's out there, I'm like, God, it's not even about me. It's just, I really want people to understand how dangerous it is and how it's just not beneficial for them. And you can do it in the right way. But again, if I would not experience such a bad experience with the psychic and just in general, me feeling like everywhere I went, it just didn't work, I would not go deeper to where I am right now, where now I'm doing intuitive readings as well, right? It's just, it's just part of life, right? The things that frustrate us the most are the breadcrumbs to our purpose and what we meant to actually rediscover or do better so we can help other people. That is the truth. So guys, I love this episode. I hope you enjoyed this as well. Please let me know by sharing on your social media. You can put it on your story, and always tag me at Effortlessly Abundant Life to get your free abundance hypnosis that helped me to generate 6 figures with ease. And also, if you are wanting more people to listen to this, if you have a friend that is like, oh my God, I'm going to the psychic, and you're like, oh, I think you should listen to Natalia's latest episode, send it to them so we can help as many people to, again, stop relying on others, people, opinions, and unfortunately, not the best intentions. So we can help ourselves and other people that we love to find their own power and their own strength. And with that, guys, have an amazing week. Have an amazing day wherever you're listening and whatever time you're listening. And I love you so much. And I'll send you so much love. Bye.